Hi, my name is Kat. If you're one of my students, you might remember me as Kat Sarah or Kat Driver, or as some of my cute students used to call me as Cat Guru. I love Cat Guru. I think that's really cute. It's kind of catchy. Or Confucius Cat. I come up with these weird sayings that kind of help my students figure things out, remember where notes are on the piano or something goofy. But it works, and I've noticed there are so many wonderful YouTube things going on right now. I've been watching a lot of Esther Hicks, so look her up. I'll put some links down below here. Jake Ducey is another one that's wonderful, and Leora Alexandra, and even Erin Dowdy is really wonderful. And my doggy Moore. Hi, baby, come here. Come here, say hi. Come here, say hi. No, he's gonna be shy. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Oh, yes. It's all about this idea they talk about letting go, so you can let flow in what you want to manifest, what you want in your life. Erin Dowdy makes these wonderful proclamations of, and it's very, very, very true. If you stay in this focus of want, you're not going to get what you want because you're in a state of want. So it's about saying, yeah, you know what? I found what worked really, really well for me when I would say, oh, I want this job. That would be so cool if that happens. If not, you know what? I'm just going to focus on finding something else just in case this doesn't come along. So what would happen is all of a sudden this awesome job would come along, like photography. I have always loved photography since I was about 8 years old. My mom got me hooked on it because she was taking classes in photography, and so I got really, really into it. And then the funniest thing is my dad's company was looking for a photographer to help out at the theater, and I went in for an interview just like everyone else. I had to take several different tests, and I actually aced all 3 of the tests. Something that not all the photographers that were interviewing for the job did. And so next thing I knew, I was working there, and it was so much fun, and it was one of the best jobs that I've ever had. And then, you know, I found myself jobless again, and I was like, dang it. What am I gonna do with my life? I'm gonna let things go. I bet something will flow into my life. Totally jobless. You know what? I was actually working at the opera company at that point, and it was something that happened maybe like 3 hours every few days or so because it was during rehearsals. And then I kept thinking, well, I need something else really, really cool to come into my life. And that is when I ended up moving and ended up getting a job working as a teacher. And that's when I started teaching voice lessons and piano lessons and acting. And I had so many wonderful students, and I miss them so, so much. And I'm so proud of all of them because some of them are just, I just am mind blown by their talent and how much they've grown and what they're doing now with their life. And you know what? It's so funny because when I was a little girl, one of my favorite people in the world was a teacher, and I thought she was the coolest thing in the world, and I wanted to be like her. And when I grew up to actually be a teacher and be a music teacher at that, it was just, you know, it's mind-blowing when you get to do things that you really love. And so now during this quarantine and having to stay in, and I'm spending a lot of time with my dog, and he loves that because now mommy's home like all the time. So he's really happy about that because he loves getting his belly rubs and all of that good stuff. And then here's another funny story, because years ago when I was a very, very little girl, there was a house on the way to go horseback riding that had all of these huskies outside, and I've always loved huskies. So this woman that was taking care of me and watching me at the time was taking me up to go horseback riding, and we stopped, and this old man came out and he starts yelling, "You're not gonna take my dog home. That's my dog. He's one of my best sled dogs." And I'm looking at him and I'm like, I just want to snuggle. He's so cute. And there's this, must have been probably about 8-9 months old puppy, and his name was Moore. And I just fell in love, and I said to myself, one day I'm gonna have a dog that's a husky, and I'm gonna call him Moore. And guess what happened? You know, and I had actually, honestly, when someone contacted me and said, you know, I have a husky and he needs a home, I turned into that 8-year-old girl all over again. I was so excited. It was absolutely ridiculous. That doesn't mean that all of your manifestations are going to take over 30 years for them to happen. I mean, you never know when they're going to happen. But you do kind of have to learn how to let things go in order to let things flow. Like Edward's hair flying like snow through the house. Right? Yeah. I do want to mention that with this channel, what I would like to do is really, I want to help people more than anything. And I've just found so many things that work for myself, and my upbringing wasn't exactly the easiest. My childhood was difficult. I'm not going to go into a long sob story of everything that's happened to me, but I've gone through a lot of trauma. And my friends remain amazed about how I can have a positive outlook on life and go forward the way that I have. And it's not that they feel sorry for me, it's this idea of having empathy for me. And I really, really want to emphasize how important that empathy is, because what I do also want to teach people with this channel is because a lot of the issues that I was put through in my life were by people that are narcissistic and or like a mix of a narcopath is technically what it's called. Yes, Seymour, I know. So in this channel, I'd also like to talk about ways of learning how to cope with these kinds of issues. And they can be very, very difficult. But one of the most important things that I have talked to people about is the idea of mindfulness and staying in that kind of flow of being mindful of where you are in your life. So you're not in the past, you're not in the future, you're in the here and now. And by being in that here and now and not necessarily remaining narrow-minded and focused on one thing, it's about being aware of absolutely everything going on. And you'd be surprised how many things you can be aware of if you just sit quietly and you listen, or you observe, or, you know, it's just this whole idea of knowing your surroundings and keeping yourself safe with your own set of boundaries and your own set of ideas of what's flowing into you and other people's ideas. And sometimes the really, really cool thing is why I like to say let flow, is because ideas will flow to you. Your ideas will kind of generate and flow around in your head, and then you flow out your idea, and then you're talking to someone, or you're singing a song and someone just happens to be playing the guitar. What happens? This beautiful song gets made. So it's all about letting those energies flow, letting them go, letting them flow, letting something flow to you. So it's all about this beautiful idea of give and take, and not to take too much and giving the right amount. So it's all about this idea of, as I've always said to people who all of a sudden want to have pity and feel sorry for me with everything that I've gone through, I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I want empathy. That's all I ever wanted, was empathy. Someone to understand it, not someone to throw me a pity party or something. So it's about this idea of being aware of someone's difficulties, and instead of saying, how can I make it better and how can I fix it, it's saying, I empathize. I feel what you're feeling, or I've felt what you're feeling right now, because I think that made a huge difference in my life when I found a therapist who said, you know what, I went through the same exact thing. I feel ya. I have been there. I've done that. I've felt those feelings. You're gonna get through this and you're gonna be just fine. So it's hearing that, and I'm sorry about the crunching. That is Imura with his toy that he's crunching on at the moment. But it's that idea of that feeling, that feeling of empathy, that I can't fix it for you. And of course, I don't expect anyone to fix anything for me. You shouldn't ever expect anyone to fix something for you, unless, of course, it's like something. What are you doing, buddy? Something going on in the house where you really need to get a plumber. Don't just sit there and observe it and say, aha, I have no idea what I'm doing. But of course, you can observe what's happening and write it all down. And so when the plumber comes, you can tell them exactly what you observed. That would be highly helpful. So it's this whole, again, let go, let flow. I like this whole rhyming thing going on today. It's been happening all day long, and it's a good thing. Okay, I hope this helps someone. If it does, just give me a little like or subscribe or hit that little button so you know when I make another video. Okay, thanks. Bye.